What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I think it's time we had a little bit of a look at the officers of the Grand Star Alliance. You see, there are 8 officers of the Grand Star Alliance who actually have their own upgrade, and the upgrades are special rares which come along with the characters. Now, trying to look through all 16 of those cards in one video would be far too much, so today we're going to look at the officers and we're going to come back tomorrow having a little bit of a look at their blasters. Now, there is an exception to this, and it is Arms Master Melina, who does have his own blaster. However, Melina's blaster is just a common card, though it does interact with Arms Master Melina. Now, as a little bit of a side note, Arms Master Melina we've seen before. 4 power, 0 armor with hazardous free, and each of its neighbors gain hazardous free. That is to say that if your opponent tries to attack you, they take 3 damage before the attack even happens. So, let's have a look at the officers. Commander Chan. Seen this one before. It's a 4 power, 0 armor creature, and when you fight or reap, you may use another friendly creature. Very much worth pointing out here that it says friendly creature, not friendly Grand Star Alliance creature. This is house cheating, plain and simple. You get to use one of your other creatures from one of your other houses. Now, this is especially good because when you play a creature, unless you've got something weird like Silvertooth, it's coming down exhausted. So let's say you play a creature, Ancient Bear. Well, the downside there is an Ancient Bear is exhausted, and then if you go Grand Star Alliance, you can't use Ancient Bear, even though it got unexhausted at the end of your turn. Well, now you can play something like that, use it the next turn. Commander Chan is awesome. It does not ready and use, however, so you couldn't use this to double use a creature. They've got to already be ready. First Officer Frane is another one that we've previously seen. 4 power, 0 armor, and when you play or fight or reap, a friendly creature captures 1 amber. This, ladies and gentlemen, is wonderful. Capturing is good. Now, don't get me wrong, right? When you capture an amber and your opponent KOs a creature that's captured the amber, they get the amber back. But the big thing here is they don't have it now. So that means that you can hopefully stop your opponent forging a key. This is amber control. Now, you're only capturing 1, but it's 1 when you play it, and then 1 every time you fight or reap. And the great thing here is that it is a friendly creature that captures the amber. That is to say, it doesn't have to be Frane. It can be any friendly creature. It doesn't have to be a Grand Star Alliance creature. It can be any friendly creature. This is really nice. Of course, what you can do is potentially try and set up a combo with something like Senator Shrix here. Senator Shrix can spend amber on her as if it was in your common pool. So, yeah, you can capture the amber and then immediately start spending it, and that's kind of amazing. Big fan of this one. It doesn't do much initially, and if she gets taken down quickly, she doesn't do a huge amount. But if you can keep Frane on the board for a couple of turns, this is going to do some big damage. Sensor Chief Garcia, another one we've previously seen. 3 power, 0 armor, and when you play, or fight, or reap, keys cost +2 during your opponent's next turn. This one is potentially game-breaking. Now, it's only a 3 power creature with no armor, no elusive. Let's just say it's not going to stay around for terribly long. It's not got the staying power of some other creatures. This ain't no Gargantodon. But it is kind of like Lash of Broken Dreams. Now, to be fair, it is ever so slightly weaker than Lash of Broken Dreams. Lash of Broken Dreams increases the cost of forging by 3. Sensor Chief Garcia does it by 2. But the thing is, she starts it now. With Lash of Broken Dreams, you play it down, it's exhausted, next turn you can start rolling. Garcia's just like your keys cost +2 next turn. And then I reap and your keys still cost +2. And you keep going and you keep going. It's a common card. Unless the algorithm is preventing it, you could potentially have 2, 3, 4 of these in your deck, and then you reap with all of them every turn, and your opponent's keys cost +8 amber. Oh my goodness, there is potential here. Medic Ingram, instantly one of my favourites, because she's got an iguana-type creature on her shoulder. Absolutely adore it. 3 power, no armor, so we're not exactly talking the beefiest creature ever here. However, when you play or fight or reap, you may heal 3 damage from a creature and ward it. And incidentally, big up to the card designers, because the medic is out there healing and protecting, and that makes me happy. Now, ward counter, basically, if a creature would be damaged or destroyed, you remove the ward counter, and it doesn't get damaged or destroyed. It basically gives you a turn of protection. And you get to heal free from a creature. And bear in mind, right, you can do this every time you fight and every time you reap. So the goal essentially here is kind of pick your biggest, baddest, strongest creature, and then every turn you are both warding it and healing free, and you're going to find your opponent in a position where they just cannot get rid of your best creature, and that's going to be kind of hilarious. Lieutenant Khrkhar! And if you can find a better pronunciation, let me know. 5 power, 0 armor, so one of the beefier ones of the officers here. And it's got taunt, which means that unless you put it down next to creatures that do have taunt, your opponent has to fight Khrkhar. They cannot take down the neighbours. And not unlike Arms Master Melina here, hazardous free. Yes, hazardous, I'm fairly sure it stacks. So you could end up with hazardous 6, and that's kind of hilarious. Or indeed hazardous 9 if you can get a Melina either side. And the thing to remember about hazardous is that it is before the attack. So if a 2 power creature comes after you, they don't do 2 damage, they get destroyed by the hazardous free, and it's not there when the fight starts. That is very, very important. There we go. So, yeah, one of the beefier ones. Comm Officer Kirby, probably my favourite of them. Yeah, I like Comm Officer Kirby. It's like so many of them, 3 power, no armour, and it's got the same skill when you play it, when you fight, and when you reap. You may play a non-Star Alliance artifact, upgrade, or action. Very important to note, does not include creatures. Which makes sense, it's a comm officer, right? So he's playing around with tech, he's not playing around with people. I love this. It is like a very slightly nerfed, but way better Helper Bot. And the reason is very simple. Helper Bot is a 1 power creature and it's a one-shot deal. Play it down, any non-logos card, you're good to go. This isn't. Kirby's not any non-logos card. It is an artifact, an action, or an upgrade, but it is very much not a creature. But having said that, I don't really care. Fine, yes, there's going to be plenty of turns you play this and you want a creature, but there's also going to be plenty of turns you play this and get to house cheat. Bearing in mind, Commander Chan lets you use another friendly creature. House cheating is good. Comm Officer Kirby is good. I absolutely adore Comm Officer Kirby. We've then got Science Officer Qincan. Now, it's only got 2 power, which is weak, but does at least have the good decency to have elusive, meaning you've got to attack it twice to get rid of it. After a player chooses an active house which matches no cards in play, steal 1 amber. Now, here's what's very important. This can work on your turn and your opponent's. After a player chooses an active house which matches no cards in play, steal an amber. Now, for you, it's going to be a weird one, because you're going to be able to make this work, unless you've got all 3 houses of yours represented. You're going to be able to just go, right, let's do this. I've got no logos on turn. I go logos. Yay! Steal an amber. It also does put amber control into houses like logos that are traditionally not particularly big on amber control. The thing is, if your opponent does this, you also steal an amber. And this is going to put your opponent in an awkward position at times, because they're going to think, right, I want to go for this house. Oh, but there's no cards matching it. Boo! I'm not able to. Now, the other thing is, and this is very important to note, it is no cards in play, not none of their cards in play. So that is to say that if your opponent has no Grand Star Alliance cards in play, but you do, and they choose Grand Star Alliance, you don't steal an amber, because even though it doesn't match your cards in play, it does still match some cards in play. It's amber control, and I love it. And finally, Chief Engineer Walls. 2 power, no armor, but again, it's got elusive. Apparently, if they go down to 2 power, they gain elusive. And when you play or fight or reap, you may return an upgrade or robot card from your discard pile to your hand. Now, we have talked about the robots a little bit in the past. We've got stuff like Calvin, for instance. Calvin is a robot, and when you fight or reap, you draw a card, but you can attach it as an upgrade with the text, "This creature gains fight or reap, draw a card." Generally, the robots can be attached as upgrades, even though they're creatures. It's a very cool mechanic. So this lets you either get an upgrade back or a creature that could turn into an upgrade. It's the same kind of thing. And maybe it's a fairly uninspiring upgrade, maybe you get an amber bonus, or maybe it's something that just flat out changes the game. In yesterday's, or a couple days ago, I forget when, video, we looked at Discombobulator, a very nice upgrade that gives you an amber bonus and reads, "This creature gains your amber, cannot be stolen." So use it to gain an amber, use it to protect your amber, your opponent gets rid of it, get it right back. And the thing is, it's another one of those skills that is when you play or fight or reap. So this is going to mean you're going to get that back again and again and again. Your opponent can keep getting rid of the upgrade, but they're going to have to get rid of walls or else the upgrade is coming back again and again. I like that we got a proper crew of characters here. I like that we've got an actual crew with actual jobs that make up a team that could, well, pilot a vessel around the sea. I was going to say sea then, but I mean space. Around the skies and seas of space. There we go. And they do have their own blasters, but like I've said, you're going to have to wait for tomorrow till that one. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all of these. I like to know what you're thinking about the Grand Star Alliance, and I would like to know which one of these is your favourite, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk games, Keyforge, and anything else that takes our fancy. And do please go and check out patreon.com/PTCGradio. You can support the channel, you can get weekly bonus podcasts, you can tell me what videos to make. It's a whole heap of fun. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would you? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.